Hello, my name is Michael Dwyer, and I'm with Rochester Writers. Once again, Rochester Writers and the Rochester Hills Public Library have teamed up to host their annual author fair, now in its third year. We're hosting 20 authors in person at the library in downtown Rochester on Saturday, November 27th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. These short videos give you a chance to meet each of the 20 authors. And right now, we're going to meet Allison Spooner. Hey, Allison, how are you?
Hi there, I'm great.
Great. Thanks so much for joining us and applying for the author fair. This is your first time attending, right?
It is. I'm very excited. Thank you for making me a part of it.
Well, you're welcome. And you have three books out. I'm going to read the titles here. Flash in the Dark, a collection of flash fiction. The Problem with Humans and Other Stories. That seems like it might be a long book. Boom Shaka Kakra, Boom Shaka Chakra. Boy, that's hard to say. Using yoga to become a more creative you. Yeah, maybe you'd be a better job of saying it.
Yes, it is Boom Shaka Chakra. Yep, using yoga to become a more creative. You got that part.
Well, fun titles. And your newest book is The Problem with Humans and Other Stories. What's that about?
So both of my books, besides the yoga one, are collections of flash fiction. So they're all short stories around or less than 1,000 words. So I always say they are perfect for people who think they don't have time to read, because with these stories, you actually do. So if you love to read, but never feel like you have enough time in the day, you sit down to a novel, and by the time you come back to it a second time, you've forgotten what happened and you have to go back. These stories are perfect for you. You can sit down and read one in about 5 minutes. So The Problem with Humans is just the most recent collection of stories. They're both unrelated to each other, but just different collections. Problem with Humans, the last 3 stories in the collection are actually the most related, I'd say, out of all of them. They're part of the same world, but they also stand alone. So you can pick one up and read it by itself, or they're kind of part of the same world and all center around the same event.
Wonderful, wonderful. And tell us about your other book. It's Flash in the Dark, also a collection of short stories.
Yeah, so same concept, just a collection of super short stories, no more than 1,000 words. Problem with Humans probably has a couple, maybe 1,200 word stories, but that's the longest. This one is pure flash fiction, all less or around 1,000 words. This was my first book. Super quick backstory, was beating myself up because I hadn't published anything. I'd been a writer for as long as I knew. I couldn't figure out the novel I wanted to write. Nothing was sticking, just couldn't settle on anything. And I kind of discovered contests online and local events that were centered around flash fiction or really short fiction. And I started writing for those, and I kind of considered it practice. But after a while, I kind of looked back and I had all this material. I was beating myself up for not being a writer or not writing, but then I realized I'm writing. It's just maybe not a novel, but I was really enjoying doing it, and I'd always wanted to have a book or two, obviously. So I said, why not just publish what I've already been writing? So
yeah, makes sense to me. And short stories are a great read. Again, you've said that for people that don't have time to read a whole novel, it's a great way to go. There's definitely a market for it. And it's therapeutic. It keeps you working, keeps you writing, keeps you thinking. So is this your niche, or are you still going to work on a novel one day?
So I would say this is my niche. I really like it. I really enjoy it. I love that it's so accessible to everyone, even people that don't necessarily like to read novels. But since these have come out actually during the pandemic, I did finally write that novel. And it's not out yet. It's not out in the world. It is in the editing process, but I am very, very excited about it. It is Neverland story. So
Well,
I've always been intrigued by Peter Pan and Neverland, and so I finally wrote my own spin on it.
sounds fun. We look forward to when that book is released. But otherwise, attendees can come by and meet you at the author table. They can see your books, buy your books. You'll sign them. How would you like to invite people to stop by your table?
How would I like to invite people? I would like to say, if you think you don't have time to read, if you want fiction for today's modern attention span, I would stop by. If you like a little dark, a little creepy, but with flashes of light throughout, check out my books and come say hi.
Fantastic. Wonderful. A little longer than a Twitter post and a little shorter than a novel.
Exactly.
All right. Allison Spooner, thank you so much for promoting the event and being part of the event. And we'll see you on November 27th.
Sounds great. Thank you.